Hey, you guys, welcome back to Naughty Love Movement. It's your girl, Nikki, and today I'm bringing opportunities for advertisement on my channel. If anyone is interested, they can email us at naughtylove2020@gmail.com. Our prices are affordable and reasonable, and please reach out to us. We can start our videos with any commercials that you would like us to advertise. I look forward to hearing from you. I'm out. One. Good morning, Naughty Crew. Welcome back to my channel, Naughty Love Movement. It's your host, Naughty. Bring you the latest and trending topics and our blog, My Life, all right? In order for you to see a lot of my vlogging, you need to follow us on all our different social media platforms, and they're scrolling on the banner below. I hope everybody's having a wonderful start. Let me move over to their day. April showers again. Okay, it's rainy over here on the East Coast, but my neighbors' tulips, they looking real healthy over there. All right, garden is gardening. How's everybody feeling? All right, happy Friday Eve. We almost through the week, Naughty Crew, and child, it's been a week, but it's the countdown to vacation. All right, can't wait to go to Vegas, to do the meetup, meet Couture Bay, meet AT2, meet all the YouTubers that are coming out to join. All right. I have a great show lined up for you today. We got some audio from one of Kim Porter's friends speaking out in regards to the relationship between her and Diddy. Ooh, it was juicy. We're gonna get into that. Also, rest in heaven, DJ Mr. Cee. All right. He was very influential when it comes to the hip hop and music industry. We're gonna get into the history behind him. Also, we got Eva Marcelle speaking out in regards to her drastic weight loss. She sat down with Tamara Hall the other day. And can you believe it's been 20 years since Eva Marcelle won America's Next Top Model? I remember I watched that whole season, and she was like a breakthrough star from there. And then we gotta bring Fat Boy to the front of the congregation. I got the story together, I got the footage, and I don't like what I'm seeing. And I just, I'ma pray for this brother and his family for healing and hope that they take everybody out the group chat and stay off the internet with it, because they have children that this is gonna affect, and they're gonna see this one day. So I just hope they have love enough for their children to take it offline. But his wife is not playing. She's dropping receipts. So we're going to get into that. But before we get into it, Naughty Crew, please make sure you are liking this video, share my content on different social media platforms, leave comments, engage with the channel. All these things help us get into YouTube's algorithm, and it helps the channel to grow. All right. And also, donations are definitely appreciated. All right. We accept Cash App, Super Chat, Super Stickers. We're monetized over here. And with us being monetized, please watch your language, misspell your curse words. They're very strict, and I don't want anyone to get blocked in my chat. All right. So disrespect YouTube's guidelines. All right. I think that's all I have for housekeeping. If you want head wraps, please DM me. On Instagram, we'll set up a consultation and we'll go from there. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this intro and we'll be right back. Thumbs up this video. All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning, nephew. Yes, it's Thursday. Thank God it's Thursday. I can't wait till tomorrow. Shout out to all my people joining me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We are streaming from all places. Just please make sure you thumbs up this video. Whatever you need to do on the different individual social media platforms to get us in the algorithm, I appreciate you. So let's dive right in. We have a lot to unpack and things like that. And to my people in the bushes, please thumbs up the video, thumbs down, whatever. Disengage with the channel. All right. So I think at first I'm gonna get into Kim Porter. All right. There's a lot of suspicious circumstances when it comes to her passing away. All right. You got the two coroner reports. The first coroner report suspected foul play. He felt like her autopsy needed further investigation because they felt like they found toxins in her system. Well, then he fired the original coroner and hired another one, basically to go in his favor. But there's a lot of things that just don't add up when it comes to her passing away, being that she was so young and she was healthy. You have Albie Shore's cryptid text messages or tweets after she passed saying that she was not sick and things like that. So there's a lot of speculation and people are calling for her case to be reopened. I forgot one piece. I forgot one piece. Yes, so please thumbs up this video. And if you join the chat, please put hashtag just for Kim Porter. Keep my foot on the net. Mm. But let me share this blind item with you guys. Let me share this blind item that I found on TikTok. Hey, Dadal. Good morning. Thank you for joining. Thank you for always supporting. Always. So let's get into this blind item. Here we go.
With all of the revelations that have come out about Diddy since Cassie's lawsuit, people are now circling back and questioning the suspicious passing of his ex, Kim Porter. And according to this blind item, he allegedly knew she was going to pass away before she did. And if you haven't watched my Diddy deep dive yet, you'll see that all of the blind items match up pretty much exactly with what Cassie claimed in the lawsuit, including R word, trafficking, and abuse. For years, a few people have kept up pressure about whether an ex of this rapper and mogul was unalived. Now, with more eyes focused on him, people have more questions. Why did he order a casket before his ex even passed away? And again, this is allegedly Sean Diddy Combs and Kim Porter. And the related headline from 2018 reads Sean Diddy Combs lays ex girlfriend Kim Porter to rest in her Georgia hometown. Combs arranged for Porter's casket to travel in a carriage pulled by horses during the public funeral, which was held at Columbus's Cascade Hills Church. Acclaimed pastor T.D. Jakes officiated the service. And if you watch the deep dive, you'll know what it alleged about Diddy and T.D. Jakes.
Okay. TD Jake's name coming up again. Good morning, Jean Pierre. Thank you for joining from Georgia. It's so funny that you're here, being that Kim Porter was from Georgia. And yes, this was devastating news about Mr. Cee's untimely passing. He was 57. We're going to deep dive into that and in the history behind him. Yes, please hit that like button. Hit that like button. Well, so I found audio. One of Kim Porter's friends sat down with a podcast. And it's called The Infamous, and the episode is called The Love of Diddy's Life. All right. Her name is Sahara, her friend, and she kind of talked about the last moments or the last few weeks of Kim Porter's life. All right. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Um, why did Diddy purchase a casket? And I just felt like Kim Porter was in a gilded cage when it came to her relationship with Diddy. He was allowed to bed hop, have as many men as he want, but if Kim moved on, it was a problem. And this is a trait that a lot of narcissists carry. They view their partners as property. All right. And it's abusive. It's abusive. If I can't have you, no one can. That whole mindset. And Sahara speaks to this. So let's get into the podcast. I'll leave the link. Here we go.
Upper crust eyelash company named Lashify that you may have heard about. They're the sort of
Hold on, let me back it up.
recordings that could be like collateral or something, and making allegations about Cuba Gooding Jr. fondling him and essentially saying that this is like an illicit criminal enterprise that Diddy is running. The house is full of guns and sex workers, and sex trafficking is somehow creeping into this. So, while we don't have the whole story about Diddy, what we decided to do this week, in addition to just catching you up on all that, is speak with a very close friend of mine, Sahara Lottie, who runs a eyelash company, a very upper crust eyelash company named Lashify that you may have heard about. They're the sort of DIY lashes that all these celebrities wear to the Oscars or when they have photo shoots, but you can actually do them at your home as well. And oddly enough, Sahara really forged a relationship with the love of Puffy's life, who was a woman named Kim Porter, who was a model, a debutante. She was from Georgia, and she was with Puffy for many, many, many years. She was a mother of several of his children, and she unfortunately passed away very recently as well. And so we asked Sahara to talk to us about what she knows about Diddy and that relationship with Kim Porter.
Fair
What did
you.
you think of her? Like your first impressions?
Freaking cool. Just like incredibly cool, incredibly beautiful. She has this air of just like a queen. The way she spoke was really Southern, and she was like ridiculously gorgeous, but also ridiculously hilarious and just really down to earth.
So she's from Georgia, and she was a model and a debutante.
She was
right. And she had an acting career.
Yeah. I mean, I think she was more of a model than she was an actress. She also loved to sing. She was working for Andre Harrell or something, and then met him during that time.
And so what did she tell you about Diddy, who, when they were together, was called Puffy?
I mean, she always referred to him as Puffy. She obviously had kids with him. And just so you know, this is the first time I'm talking about something like this in public. Her daughters are great, and her sons, Quincy and Christian, are awesome. But, you know, there's a lot out there right now. It was hard. It was really hard. But at the same time, they were very, very good friends. He relied on her. She used to come over like all the time on her way over the hill, because she lived in the valley and I lived on the hill. So she would stop by. And anytime she was over, whether it be an hour or 5 hours, like he was blowing up her phone the whole time. And it took a couple of years for me to understand the dynamic.
See, he was blowing up her phone all the time. That is a sign of controlling, codependency. Like, why couldn't she function without him? That just goes to show, and see, the root of a lot of narcissistic behavior is insecurity. Insecurity.
So they're not together though at this point.
They're not together, but it was almost like they were together, if that makes sense. Like they weren't together, but like every Christmas was her and the kids on a yacht, him, nobody else is allowed to come. Every Thanksgiving, she'd be cooking. So it was very family. Family was really, really important to her. And she really tried to keep it together. But I didn't like the dynamic of what I was seeing. Like I knew that it was causing her pain, basically.
So did you talk to her about it?
Oh yeah, we talk about it all the time. See, Kim was very generally a private person, but we just became really fast friends. And we connected. She was also really deep, spiritual, had like a deep belief in God, and knew that she could trust me essentially. And she was like almost stuck with him. Like if she was seeing somebody and he got a whiff of that, somehow she wouldn't be seeing that person anymore. And it wasn't.
You see the controlling nature. Why couldn't she move on? But he can have a harem of women because he's controlling. He's narcissistic. It's abusive. She was in a gilded cage, Kim Porter. And so he tries to portray like that was the love of his life. No, that's what he liked to control. This speaks to his character.
Based on something she did. It was based on something he would do.
Like what? What do you mean by that? Like somehow call the person?
Yeah, she was seeing this basketball player for a while. And then the basketball player was seeing another singer. And the singer said, hey, let's be exclusive. And he said, no, I'm seeing someone else. And she said, who? And he said, Kim Porter. The singer went to Puff. And then next thing you know, the basketball player never calls again. But she helped him a lot. He would use her as like a sounding board.
This is like cult-like behavior. Cult-like behavior. The way he's controlling all the women and how they can't move on without him. And if they do, there's consequences. We heard this spoke of in Cassie's lawsuit when she was trying to kick it with Kid Cudi, and Diddy found out and blew up his car as a result of it. Guy's a monster.
Almost like his rock in a weird way. But on one hand, you could tell she couldn't stand him. And on the other hand, she loved him. But she basically said to me, he's changed. He's not the same person that he used to be.
Because they were together from like the mid 90s till like 2007 or something like that.
But
it's a long time.
Yeah, but he pulled a lot of shit. Like when they were together, when she thought everything was amazing, next thing you know, the whole Jennifer Lopez thing comes out. And then the whole time he's with Kim, it's like from the outside, he was showing something different. And then when she got pregnant with the twins, he ends up getting another woman pregnant at the same time. And that was when she finally was like, later, dude. From what I knew, it was a very toxic.
Playing in her face, manipulating. But meantime, living a double, triple life, creating children all over the place, leading Kim to believe it's all about him and her. And meantime, he's flaunting Jennifer Lopez, J-Ho, around town, and then gets another woman pregnant. This relationship was toxic. It was not healthy.
A crazy relationship in the 90s, and she got away from that, but she couldn't quite get away from. I mean, to be honest with you, a lot of stuff after she transitioned, a lot of stuff came to light that almost I feel like she was kind of hiding in a way.
You mean transition to when after she died?
Yeah. And you know, a lot of stuff came, because I remember once we went.
For those of you who are just joining, this is Kim Porter's friend Sahara. Speaking on a podcast in regards to her and Diddy's relationship and how they operated. Your girl been doing some research. It took me a minute to get this audio, so please thumbs up this video, share my content. Let's get the word out there. You know, a lot of women are living in DV situations like this, and they do not know how to get out of it. All right. Kim Porter lived in a gilded cage when it came to the diddler.
Shopping, and it was like a YSL jacket or something. And I was like, oh yeah, you should get that. And she's like, no, I can't get that. And I was like, why? Just have Puff buy it for you. And she looks at me, she goes, it does not work like that. And I was like, what do you mean? And then I realized, like, in order to get anything out of him, she had to like do something in return, whether it was spend time with him or whatever. It's like he was what looked like generous from the outside, but in reality not.
Didn't he come over to your house or something and say like, "Oh, you're into this spiritual shit"?
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah.
Wasn't
He was supposed to come over on a Sunday, and then he flaked out, and she was like, "No, I want you to hang out with Sahara," and he like couldn't. He was like didn't do it. Now that I see all of it, it all makes sense.
Why?
Because he was a bad dude. He was a bad dude. And the thing is that Kim was ride or die for him. I was like, yo, just leave. Like, he offered her $1 million once. Like, he could feel that she was disconnecting from him. And he like called her like crying, hysterical, please, I can't, don't, Kim, I'll give you $1 million. I'll give you $1 million. And then when she said that to me, I was like, all right, I'm going to get you an attorney. Let's get an attorney. Let's get this signed up. And she was like, no, she never, like, she should have just gotten that money, but she never did. When I tell you she was so ride or die, like there's like rumors on the internet saying like Kim Porter was writing a book. She wasn't writing a book. Vanessa, she was like loyal to the bone. Like, she was not that kind of person. She wasn't writing.
I kind of disagree with that, because there's footage of her out here talking about a book that she was writing. I'll try to find it for you.
A book about Puff. If she was going to write a book, she would have written a book 500 years ago and not dealt with his ass. You know what I mean? She was never, ever in a million years going to write a book about him.
Right.
But she wanted to keep it together for her family. But I know that she was horrified by him. The whole like love, family, all that was total BS. And she'd said that it's total bullshit. She's like, he's the worst fucking dad in the world.
Whoop! Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. He's the worst father in the world. But he around here talking about some brother love. But your sons is caught up in lawsuits with you. You get busted at the airport with your mule and your girls are with you. Mhm. Mhm.
I've always struggled with finding time to manage my finances. At the end of a busy week, the last thing I want to do is
Hold on, that's the commercial break. Let it play a little bit.
customer service teams to cancel old subscriptions I no longer.
You should want to defend church and state separation. You can.
So like he changed. And I'm so confused because I'm seeing what's really happening. And I said to her, like, what's up with this Cassie chick?
Hold on, guys. I'm trying
5 years. Do you want full civil and political rights for LGBTQI?
For example, the Cassie thing, because, you know, Cassie is who he was claiming on the outside. But when I would see how he would like blow her phone up all day long, I was like, I'm so confused because I'm seeing what's really happening. And I said to her, like, what's up with this Cassie chick? Like, do you like hate her or what? And she was like, no, no. And I was like, what do you mean? And she finally looks at me. She goes, I feel sorry for her. I said, why? And she looks at me and she goes, no, man, better her than me. And I didn't understand what that meant until I read the lawsuit. Like I said, she was, on one hand, I think she couldn't stand him. She told me she didn't like his scent. But on the other hand, she loved him. But she said he's not the same person he used to be. So like he changed. And so it's really hard when you fall in love with someone and they're like your person. And then all of a sudden that person switches on you. You don't really know what to do. But there was a lot of pain inside of her from all the things that he did. It's not like you have this partner that like treats you like shit and then you move on. It's like you have this partner that treats you like shit and won't let you move on. Like there was not a chance in the world that she was going to be able to get married, be with another man, it just not a chance in the world. Like it was never going to happen. So I was under the impression like, oh, okay, he must be giving her a ton of money. And then when I realized that like half of the jewels that she had weren't bought by him. You know, Kim was she was a lady. Like I said, she was old fashioned, Southern, cook breakfast in the morning, feed the kid, you know, and I didn't like that he would almost like booty call her. And I knew she didn't want to be with his ass. Like he'd booty call her. And it's like, and if she didn't show up, like the lights were not going to be on the next day.
Tell me about the experience of reading the Cassie lawsuit, reading that.
Okay, typical abuser. He keeps them broke and dependent on him. And it was like, I'll put it lightly, a lady of the night exchange. If you want this from me, you got to pop your legs open. Yeah, this is one of her friends, Sahara. Yeah, she worked with Kim and Diddy for years. She does the lashes to the stars. She has her own business. She is, let me see. Her name is Sahara Lottie. Let me try to get some. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Let me stop sharing. This is her. This is who's speaking. Sahara Lottie. and she specializes in lashes, and she does lashes to the stars. Like, all the stars use her for her lashes. All right, just to give you an idea. Yes, please thumbs up this video. Thank you, Michelle. All right, let's get back into it.
Online, like, what did you see in there? What did you read, and like, how did you feel when you read it?
It made sense. It all made sense. It's almost like she was like his light side. Does that make sense? Like, she was
Kim, you mean?
Yeah, she was the light, right? Family, and she was keeping everything together and making she was keeping it together, which is why he imploded, right? It all made sense because he broke her down.
You mean Kim?
Oh yeah.
He broke Kim down.
Oh
yeah. And so you see in the lawsuit that he's breaking down Cassie,
yeah. Oh,
right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He won't really let her career happen.
No.
He's allegedly forcing her to have sex and these freak offs.
Yeah, I can tell you, Kim.
people.
I can tell you, Kim was not doing that shit, because I do
Right.
know that she told me a story about once when they got into it, like he tried to kick her ass and she like fought back and like stabbed him or some shit. Kim would like go to town on you. Like, Kim was strong as hell, but he messed with her spirit.
Okay, Gene Dill also spoke about that incident, and that's how Diddy ended up hooked on drugs. All right, so yeah, a lot of her stuff is lining up.
He messed with her heart. I remember once we were listening to this song by Ernestine Anderson, and it was called "Don't Touch Me."
Don't touch me. Keep your hands to yourself. Don't touch me.
And it's about how a man cheats. And one of the lyrics is like, I'll never be your spare or something.
I will be your one and only, but I sure won't be your spare.
The pain was like really active. Honestly, it's all we talked about was that dynamic. Like, I almost felt like I was brought in her life to try to get her away from him. And I tried. But believe me when I tell you, I tried. He was just stealing her light.
And so basically she died of a completely strange freak thing. Like, what happened?
She and I were supposed to go to Palm Springs. And then she calls me that day. She's like, I can't go. I'm like, why? She's like, Puff called. Like, he wants me to go to the Turks and Caicos. And she's like, I gotta go. And I was like, okay. And she went. And I remember seeing a photo from one of his other, let's say, women in the same place, like 2 days before. And I was just like,
wow.
And I was just like, so, ugh. But I didn't say anything. She sent me a couple message photos, etc., of her there. It looked beautiful. She came back and she was like, oh my God, it was the best trip ever. And like, everyone's saying how like Puff is doing so well and he's like in such a better place. Because it was all about what kind of place is Puff in? Like, is he in the light or is he in the dark? Like, that was basically like the constant, like, oh yeah, he's back to normal. He's back to himself. But what was weird is that something about her was kind of off. Like, so he's good, but suddenly she's not, you know?
All right. So, I mean, it's just a vicious cycle, psychological cycle. Please thumbs up this video. Shout out to all my folks joining me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Thank y'all for joining me. This is Kim Porter's friend, Sahara Lottie. She sat down with a podcast and spoke to the relationship that Diddy and Kim Porter had. There's a lot of suspicious things surrounding her passing away, being that she was so young and healthy and vibrant. But a lot of people are deleted around him. It's weird. And I don't believe in coincidence. Let me get into some of these comments. Michelle GM says, I believe her. She also says, walking around here all the time like he the best father out here. Child, ain't the mask is coming off. Yes, nephew, full-time abuser, part-time father. All right, nephew, Diddy exuded some serious fear vibes because he had many people shook to silence. Right, nobody spoke up. Now, when it comes to her friendship dynamic with Sahara, right, it was very little she could do. You heard her. She was trying to convince her to leave. If Kim was not ready to leave, it's very little she can do. Kim would have had to report him, report the abuses, and things like that. Exactly. All the men around, nobody stood up. Even Gene Dill witnessed some abuses. He spoke to this on, I believe, was the Art of the Dialogue. Like when they asked him about the Cassie lawsuit, he said he wasn't around when Cassie was around, but her story sounded all too familiar because he knew someone else that went through it, and he spoke of Kim Porter. That's right. Thumbs up this video. Yes, thumbs up this video. Okay, and I found the clip where Kim Porter was talking about her book. That is the only discrepancy that I have with Sahara, because maybe Kim didn't privy her to that information. It sounds like all they talked about was Diddy. But here's Kim Porter talking about the book here. And it's glimpses of the book going around on the internet.
Or anything like that. But I've been in the business and been around the business.
So some of the things in the book cover Diddy's gay relationships, footage of those encounters, the men he slept with, STDs, Diddy giving Usher an STD, and the explosive encounter between Diddy and Usher's mom, Mary J. Blige being pregnant by Diddy, and of course, she had an AB.
Okay, so there was some type of book in the making. I'm just thinking Sahara was not privy to that information. She kept it under wraps, and she only gave it to, or told her closest friends like Kimora Lee Simmons about the book. All right, let's get back into this audio.
Right. And then it was his 50th birthday, and we were supposed to go to the party together. And she had called me 3 times being like, "You're coming, right? You're coming, right?" Because at the time I was doing Lashify. I was super busy. I was antisocial. And I'm like, I'm coming. Mm-hmm. And then the day of the party, she never called me. And I was like, that's weird. And then I called her and she's like, yeah, yeah, the girls came in town. And I was like, okay. So that's kind of weird. And then I remember seeing pictures of her at the party. And I'm like, yo, this doesn't even look like her. Something's weird. And then through a few days later, she's really sick. And she's like, oh man, I have this crazy flu. And I called her. I'm like, what's up? And I remember she was like, I'm so sick. And that's how she sounded on the phone. And I was like, Kim, why do you sound like that?
Yeah.
This was somebody that would be like, she was her voice had a melody. She'd be like, hey, hey, hey. And she sounded like this guttural, weird sound. And I was like, are you okay? Mm-hmm. What's going on? And so then I remember I texted her, I don't know, the next day. And I'm like, Kim, are you okay? And she goes, Kimberly down is what she wrote in the text message.
Yeah.
It's weird. And then the next day she was gone.
Oh my God. Yeah. Seriously? Whoa.
So honestly, I mean, Vanessa, what I thought it was this is a spiritual death. Some shit went down. I felt whatever weird shit was in him was in her. I mean, I'm telling you, his energy was so freaking dark during the funeral and all that. I couldn't even say hello to him. On the day of her death, I went over there with her niece and his security guards wouldn't let us in.
Whoa.
They wouldn't let us. And then the security guard eventually the next day apologized.
And this is the same niece that babysat the twins that Diddy fired because she got pregnant. And he said that was a bad influence on his daughters. And she ultimately ended up suing him. Okay. But look at the oxymoron here. He's firing the niece for being pregnant out of wedlock, but you have multiple children with multiple women. That's narcissism. That's narcissism.
And whatever to me. But I was like, it was her house. And all of a sudden you realize it's actually not her house. Does that make sense? Like, it was like he had her whole life on lock. And then for the services in Columbus, Georgia, one of her family members calls me like hysterical because they don't have the money to fly to the funeral and he won't pay for them. So I ended up paying for them.
Oh my God.
I ended up paying for them because he wouldn't pay. And after that, I was like, oh, fuck that. You're a piece of shit. And that's when I was like, what kind of man doesn't pay for the family of your supposed love of your life soulmate? That was the first time ever he actually put it out there that this was the love of my life. That part was true. That was the love of his life.
You mean after she died?
But he turned it into like the biggest PR thing of all time. But it's the first time he said, no, this is the love of my life.
Yeah, like he said, I don't know what I'm going to do without you, baby. I miss you so much. God. We were more than best friends. We were more than soulmates. We were some other shit. And I miss you so much. Super black love.
Whatever, man. Whatever. He had completely disrespected that black woman. And I remember once I asked him, I was like, do you think he killed Tupac? She's like, no way. No way. She goes, Sahara, trust me. No way. And I'm like, you sure about that? She was ride or die for him. She was ride or die for him. Even though she like kind of hated his guts too. I remember like they were supposed to go to, like it was the Christmas holiday and that Christina chick that is his right hand. She was like, what's going on with the flights? What's going on with this? And like, Christina's like, oh yeah, we're not sure yet. And she like went crazy on Christina. She's like, I don't know who the fuck you think you are. You better tell that Nene. Like, basically, it's like the Christmas holidays. It's like, get your shit together, bro. And the thing is from her.
So that's Christina, the one that was mentioned in Little Rod's lawsuit, Diddy's right-hand man, Ghislaine Maxwell. Yes, that's who she's referring to.
And she kept saying to me,
the chief of staff,
he can't stop partying. She said to me, the issue is he doesn't want to grow up. And it's like about the party, the lifestyle, the party.
Right.
And I think that that's what she thought, is that it was about.
Cat Williams said, Diddy like the party. You got to tell him no.
The party and the lifestyle. But it was much deeper and darker than just the party. Well, she thought it was like, yeah, you know, let's drink, De Leon, Ciroc, whatever. It was a lot more twisted.
Yeah.
But he wasn't doing that shit in front of her. Hell to the no. Like, no way. Like, that ain't Kim. It was really dark.
Her life force was just gone.
Yeah. I'm telling you, some weird, and like, I know there's rumors of like, oh, he killed her. I don't see why he would. Unless he had some life insurance, but I don't see why he would. I don't think so. But at the same time, I hate to say this, but like when she passed, man, I felt relief for her. I felt relief.
Because she was away from him.
Because she was away from him. And she could kind of like guide her daughters. Her daughters like spinning images of her. And like they have her fire. They're Sagittariuses. They don't give a fuck. I think they know who their dad is. When Kim's mom passed, like she was so devastated when her mom passed that it's like that was her life force, if that makes sense. And when her mom passed, she got really depressed. That was like her way of dealing with the craziness of him. I think he brought a lot of darkness, blackness into her life.
And so how do you see what's happening to him now? I mean, I assume you think his life fell apart after.
I think it's karma.
After she passed away, because he was sort of, whether he was in that relationship for control, I mean, it was a grounding.
It was grounding. It was 100% grounding.
Right.
But then I heard that like, literally like after the funeral services, whatever, he was like back on the same shit. A mutual friend of ours was there, and like he was just like popping like X pills, like Tic Tac, and it was just all about partying. And then I remember always feeling like he didn't have a lot of money. Like, I can't explain it. I know when you got a lot of money, you act a little differently.
He does have a lot of money, though. No?
Well, according to Newsweek, he has $100 million in mortgage loans.
Oh, right.
Right.
Okay.
And so that was the sense that I got.
Right.
You know, as a business person,
right.
I was like, I'm not so sure. Like, and then he was like suing one of those companies, and it was like for a stupid amount of money. And I was like, no, this, you know, no, this isn't. He just, I'm telling you, he just didn't. I don't know how somebody that can be that obsessed with partying and like hedonism, you're not killing it. You don't have time to sit around and make money. Right. What's crazy is that Kim died on November 15th, I think it was. And that day we all went to Cade's house, and Cade was also a really good friend of hers, and everybody was there. Her daughters were there. Her sons were there. A lot of her friends were there. And I remember looking at one of them going, some shit's about to go down. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. And the next day, the Cassie thing dropped.
Whoa, are you serious?
The next day.
Like just now?
Yeah, no, the Cassie was in November, right?
Oh my God.
Right, November. And the next day, the Cassie thing dropped.
And so Cassie, I mean, basically what happened is she was obviously negotiating with him, right? For like a large amount of money in a lawsuit for the years of abuse that she had allegedly suffered by him.
What amount of money is enough? You know, what amount of money is enough for that? Yeah.
Well, no, but then she put it in the paper because he was obviously not going to settle with her. But Cassie putting it in the paper, even if she settled afterwards, basically started this whole ball. Yes, because it just let everybody know.
Yep.
You know.
So basically what she did, she came in, she sued his ass. The lawsuit is public. Everybody gets to see. Everybody now knows what a freak off is.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the next day he's trying to make it go away. So he pays her. But I do want to tell you that like no way was Kim having freak offs. Like no way. And so it all kind of makes sense to me though in a little bit. Cause you know how like the narcissist has like the woman that's like the one that makes him feel pure and clean. So I think that's what Kim was. Mm-hmm. Kim was like the front, the face, like basically telling him that he wasn't.
Kim was the beard, the main beard, the main bottom chick. Good morning, Veronica Forever. Thank you for joining. Good morning, Cherry Baby. Thank you for joining. So this is Kim Porter's friend, Sahara Lottie. For those of you who are just joining, she sat down with a podcast to talk about the relationship between Diddy and Cassie. Do I believe everything that she's saying is fact? I found a few discrepancies, but this is who she is. She is the last queen to the stars. All right. She probably was only privy to certain information, but this is just her perspective on how she felt like the dynamic between Kim Porter and Diddy was. All right. I'll leave the link in the description box so you guys can go check this out for yourselves because it's almost over. Hold on, let me share it.
Everybody now knows what a freak off is.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the next day he's trying to make it go away. So he pays her. But I do want to tell you that like no way was Kim having freak offs. Like no way. And so it all kind of makes sense to me though in a little bit. Cause you know how like the narcissist has like the woman that's like the one that makes him feel pure and clean. So I think that's what Kim was. Mm-hmm. Kim was like the front, the face, like basically telling him that he wasn't all pure evil.
You mean the way narcissists, like they work a bunch of different girls, but they have the one like wifey girl?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The one that's like the good one, the one that's like, even though they weren't together, but they were together. Like, I don't really know how to explain it. Like, it was like she had a husband. I'm telling you, if she came over to my house 50 times, 50 of those 50 times her phone was blowing up and it was him. This was constantly. But she had to play the game. He'd broken her down so much that if she didn't, she honestly felt like she was going to be destitute because that's how much he had broken her down.
All right, you have it. Sahara's perspective on Kim Porter's relationship dynamic with Diddy. And what it sounds to me, it sounds so familiar, right? About the dynamics of all his relationships. He's the top. You do what I say, and that's it. And if you don't do what I say, I'm not going to pay the light bill. I'm not going to take care of the kids and things like that. But people like this need to be reported. All right. Like, you could stop this cycle of behavior by reporting it and completely making a clean cut. And that's easier said than done, because when people are caught up in an abusive cycle, the abuser has a hold on their thought process. They have a hold on their mind, and they're not independent thinking. It's cult like brainwashing behavior. All right, so I just wanted to present this to my naughty crew. Look, I'm not saying everything she's saying is fact. This is all allegedly, and it all falls under fair use. But I just still think it's fair to bring that perspective to the table, considering the climate of things and all the allegations that are coming up against Diddy. But y'all leave it in the comments. Y'all let me know what you think of Sahara Lottie. If you think she's credible. You know, I'm not hearing her say that Kim was her best friend. Like, Kimora Lee Simmons probably holds more of the bones for Kim, because they've been friends forever. They modeled together. They were in toxic relationships together and things like that. So I just really feel like it's a case where Sahara wasn't really privy to everything. All right. So leave it in the comments. Hit that like button and let's move on. All right. So rest in peace to DJ Mr. Cee. I was shocked when I saw this come across my feed yesterday. Mr. Cee contributed a lot to the music industry and hip hop, and also he paved the way for a lot of the New York DJs. He laid down the formula, right? Just to give you a little history. Okay, so he was legendary. So his full name was Calvin LeBron, also known as Mr. Cee. And shout out to Hot 97 for this article. Has an iconic career, making names for himself as one of NYPC's most prominent DJs, for being the official DJ for Big Daddy Kane, who I love, okay? And discovering one of hip hop's GOATs, helping bring the notorious B.I.G. to the world, and being a part of the foundation that shaped Hot 97 to be what it is today. So, I mean, he has an iconic career, but you cannot have an iconic career without controversy. All right. So Mr. Cee, back in the day, started making headlines because he was arrested a couple of times for soliciting prostitutes. And turns out they were transgender. All right. My cousin Miyasha wrote a book about this. It went to play and then a movie about the secret society. That's the name of the book. That's the name of the movie about transgenders. And she speaks in that book, like, a lot of men in the industry and stuff prefer transgenders. Why? Because it still protects his secret, and it just appears that they are with a woman, right? So they get to keep Their sexual preference a secret. Sound familiar, right? Like Diddy. And part of me feels like they draw power in that secret, right? Their dirty little secret. But if you just walk in your truth, you wouldn't have all these skeletons in your closet and secrets and things like that. So, woo, Mr. C addressed it. He addressed it. Shout out to Yahoo. Because I remember him on Hot 97. I think it was Ebro was questioning, like, man, if that's what you down with, just walk in your truth. I mean, he was married and things like that. His marriage ended up falling apart as a result of him getting arrested. And they was just like, bro, just come out and be who you are. So addressing his past, DJ Mr. Cee says he is trisexual. He finally came out the closet. So a decade after Hot 97, DJ Mr. Cee was made into tabloid fodder for being arrested after being caught reportedly soliciting SEX from a transgender woman. He's now receiving support after announcing he's trisexual, which he means he's willing to try anything. So on March 11, New York-based DJ appeared on retired rapper Mano's Kitchen Talk podcast. Mano retired? When? Some of the footage was shared on Instagram by OnSite, including a clip in which he acknowledges that his dating history with trans women is well documented. All right, so this is him with Mano, posted to Instagram on DJ Mr. Cee's page. All right, it's flipping around because of that. What is this? Not my article. Hold on, guys. Sorry. I thought I saved it. Thumbs up this video. The ads make it like skip around. I hate that. Please thumbs up this video. Yeah, I don't know why it keeps doing this. We are not talking about Ben Affleck. Let me shut down. I'm gonna just put a picture up of him and read it from my phone. Ugh. So here we go. So another. This is him with Onyx. Everybody's paying homage to him, and people respected him after he decided to come out the closet, so to speak. All right. So another host on the show, an artist that goes by Miss Georgia, then asked C, as did Mano, if he considered himself to be gay. An ill-informed question, as being attracted to trans women or any woman would not make C gay. According to GLAAD, sexual orientation describes a person's enduring physical, romantic, and or emotional attraction to another person. Gender identity and sexual orientation are not the same. Transgender people may be straight, lesbian, gay, bisexual, or queer. For example, a person who transitions from male to female and is attracted solely to men would typically identify as a straight woman. So here's a clipping from that interview. And this falls under fair use. Hey, be more shorty. Here we go. Shout out to his on site.
Yeah, my story is well documented. I just wanted to know how you got that.
Nah, I don't. I absolutely strictly women.
Okay.
Okay,
So
I like that. That's cool. But
okay, so people
you
thought
like trannies though.
that's what I do, bro.
That's
You know
what you
me. That's what I do. That's what I do. It's well documented.
You like it. So
I mean, I've answered that question way back when I got arrested in 2011 and 2013.
we got new.
Yeah, I know we got new people. I consider myself trisexual. I'll try anything.
Okay. Hey, I respect it. I respect it.
I'll try anything.
I
Not
respect.
anything. Not literally not anything. But the point I'm making is that the only thing I've done with transsexuals is that I got top head from transsexual. I've never had sex. I never penetrated
Never hit a
with
nigga.
No.
You never hit a nigga.
Never.
No.
Never hit a nigga.
No.
Not one time.
No. Never in my life. Never had sexual intercourse with a transsexual.
What is it like? What is the thing with transsexuals? Like, because it's a man, so it's like because this footage, right? It's like this dude taped you, right?
Right.
And y'all like haggling over the prices of head, right? So it's like,
Well, let me correct you. It wasn't a dude that taped me. Transsexual woman.
okay. It's
But I don't want them to get at you.
Don't get at me.
It was a transsexual woman that taped me. It was not a man.
Okay, I don't understand all this shit.
But I'm telling you.
That's what I'm saying.
You want to learn from the master? Learn from the master?
So.
Because I don't want you to get, because they will get at you. Bro.
They will get at you.
If you don't talk the right terminology,
I have a problem.
You will have problems.
Okay, so a transsexual female tapes you, basically haggling over head prices and where to do it at and all this other stuff. Like, so when I'm asking you is that my question is like, do you prefer that it's a
man that looks like a woman?
That used to be it looks like a woman, or
Mano, stop being difficult. That's what a transsexual woman is.
So
It's a man that's dressed like a woman.
right? But is that what you like though?
Yes. I already made that clear. What we doing? What we doing here?
I really respect your honesty.
And I do too. Look, hashtag no Diddy. Walk in your truth. Learn from Mr. Cee. Period. I think at the point where he was arrested, he just couldn't deny it anymore. And he decided to just come on out. And I remember Ebro, man, it's okay. But it's such a stigma in the hip hop industry. You get blackballed if, God forbid, you're attracted to the same sex. Woman on woman is fine, but man on man, it's cliche. It's cliche. Good morning, Be More Shorty. Good morning, Juby Buggin. Good morning, Slow Gang. Thank you for joining. Okay, Be More Shorty said Mr. Cee was dealing with a YouTube trans person, and they did say some things on their channel. Ooh. Yes, he respected the trans culture. And I respected how he schooled them and educated them. Well, you know who else was on to him too? The queen herself, Wendy Williams. Okay. Let's get Wendy up here, because I know y'all remember this clip. This is right after her divorce. 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 This is right after her divorce to Kevin. And she spoke of DJ Mr. Cee on the couch.
Else I ran into last night? Somebody I hadn't seen in since forever. You know DJ Mr. Cee? I hadn't seen DJ Mr. Cee in well over 10 years. DJ Mr. Cee was an integral part in me meeting my husband. Back in the day, I forgive you. Mr. Cee was very integral part of my family and stuff like that. I hadn't seen him in a long time. Last time I saw Mr. Cee, he was, a fat, straight DJ. And now he's a thin, very comfortable with himself DJ, if you know what I'm saying. You know the story. I'm gonna let C tell the story. C, I want to invite you here, but I don't want you to just be in for booth. And you know who else I ran into last night?
Okay.
Somebody I hadn't seen in.
And she congratulated him for walking in his truth. And Mr. Cee did post that to his page. You know what? Beyond that, he was a very, very influential DJ when it came to the hip hop community. Period. All right. Although he was known for this and it was like public and his arrests were public, he contributed a lot to the hip hop industry. He helped a lot of artists get on. He was like the DJ Khaled back in the day, all right? But he was very, very, he was a main component in bringing Biggie Smalls to the forefront into the mainstream. It was all about the DJs back in the day, okay? We didn't have social media, so you needed the radio play to get your name out there. That was our social media back in the day, the radio. That's why I used to listen to Wendy to hear all the latest and greatest gossip. Yup, Swirl Gang. She said true, cuz back in the day, hip hop community was not going for anything homo, respectfully, just the truth. Period. Hey G Mom. Yes, G Mom. To each his own, living your truth. At the end of the day, we live in a day and time where it's more acceptable. Like, could you imagine if Diddy would have came out the closet years ago, but then he wouldn't have been able to have all this control over people. He wouldn't be able to blackmail. See, a lot of people, it's not about Diddy's sexuality. It's the way he takes advantage of people. The slipping of Mickeys, all right, and people waking up and not knowing what happened to them in these freak offs. That's the problem. Diddy is addicted to power and control, as we heard earlier in that Kim Porter in Sahara's interview. I wanted to, and right now they're not revealing what his cause of death was. It's too soon anyway. Exactly, Michelle. There's no reason to not come out now. It's easier to come out now than it was back in the day. Exactly. But you know what? Mr. Cee was one of those ones that was courageous enough to finally walk in his truth. Yeah, he do got anger issues for real. Yes, and please don't forget to hit that like button. All right, so rest in heaven, Mr. Cee. My condolences to his family, his close friends. But I appreciate what he contributed to the music industry and helping a lot of artists blow up. Like before there was a DJ Khaled, it was DJ Mr. Cee, it was DJ Red Alert. Okay, that's just some of DJ Enough. That's some of the like mainstream DJs from back in the day. Yes, Adi is still in prison. Yes. And one of my naughty crew has sent me a comment. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, he's definitely still in prison, and I think they have him on some type of like psychiatric hold. That's what that comment was alluding to. Mhm. I'm gonna find that comment and I'm gonna post it to the community tab. I'm gonna find it. But they alluded to like he may be on some type of psychiatric hold, and that could be for his protection. He's still in jail. I've been checking. Yes, DJ Clue. I've been checking. He's still, as far as we know, he's still in custody. Ooh, sorry for your losses, Be More Shorty. I have 4 deaths around me. Live, love, and enjoy life to the fullest, y'all. Exactly. Y'all already know my motto is live, love, laugh. Sorry for your losses, though. Yeah, as far as his cause of death, and I don't want to make any speculation. You know, you heard in that audio with him and Mano, he said, you know, when he solicited the transgenders, he received top. I'm just putting it like lightly. He received topper. Please make sure y'all hitting the like button. All right. Up next, I want to get into Eva Marcelle. All right. She is star of All the Queen's Men, and I love her. She plays the role of Madam. But she's been in a lot of things. She was a Atlanta Housewives. She was the winner of Atlanta's Top Model, and it has been 20 years. So let's pay homage to her. It's been 20 years since she won America's Next Top Model. Well, she sat down with Tamron Hall and address her recent weight loss, which we were all concerned here, Naughty Crew. And it started happening around the time that her and her ex-husband decided to file for divorce. And I said, and being that she's already a smaller woman, but I identify with her weight loss because when you stressed out, and we all know divorce is like going through war. When you stressed out, I know for me personally, the first thing that gets affected is my appetite. When I'm under extreme stress, I don't want to eat. I don't want to eat. It like the stress is like a pit in your stomach. And so I just was hoping her well. And Eva kind of strikes me as that type of person. Like as soon as she's going through stress and stuff like that, the first thing that goes is her appetite. So let's hear what she had to say on Tamron Hall. Good morning, Bree. Shout out to All True Tea for this footage. She looks.
I know you are mindful every day, but on Wednesdays especially, you say.
Shout out to the Shade Room. Let me make sure y'all can see.
Set aside this time to inspire, and the reason why I ask about that because I saw the post over the summer when you were on the red carpet. You did an event and you posted a picture, and not everyone, people started to go into your social media and comment on your weight, on your slim figure. You disabled your comments.
I did.
Which I think is healthy.
Yes.
And it made me think about your Wednesday meditations and your mindfulness, because you always talk about keeping the negativity out, keeping those comments out. You clearly saw those comments.
Oh, absolutely. But where do you put them, right? Where do you, the negative feelings, the things that are not good, where do you put them? You try to bury them down in your person, and all that ends up doing
Did you expect those? I mean, when you saw the picture of yourself, did you think I look slimmer than I normally?
I thought I looked cute. Now, Tamron, look, I came here to be transparent, like honest. I went through a divorce last year. Anyone that's ever been through a divorce knows that divorce is hard. It's like the stomach flu. Like, you will be skinny afterward. Like, you drop a 200-pound person, you're going to drop at least 30 pounds. So for me, I lost weight just naturally going through life, and I found myself depressed. Before my divorce, through my divorce.
I feel her, and that's one of the symptoms. When you're depressed, sometimes you just don't want to eat. It affects depression affects people differently. Some people run to the food and they overeat, and some people don't eat. But it does suppress your appetite, and divorce is hard. Divorce is hard. So I appreciate her being, excuse me, I appreciate her being very transparent about this and addressing this once and for all. And I always felt like it was as a result of the divorce. She has had some tumultuous relationships in her life. Let's not forget her first child's father was abusive towards her, and she had to kind of escape that whole situation. There's like permanent restraining orders and things like that in place. But the first step is admitting the place you are in so that you can move forward in a healthy way.
Trying to just navigate and rediscover, who am I? I'm not the wife anymore, not someone. I'm someone's mom. But if I took the mom away, if I took Madam away, if I took Top Model away, like, who's Eva? Yeah. Who am I? Yeah. And making sure that I prioritized knowing that character and building that character.
I know you are mindful every day, but on Wednesdays especially, you set aside.
All right. Let me see what some of the comments are saying. Going through a divorce. Yes, Michelle, going through a divorce ain't no joke. It will stress you out. I don't want to eat either when I am stressed out. Me too. I'm the same way. Okay. Couture Babe says, I don't believe her. She was on Ozempic. I don't think she was on Ozempic. I mean, she's already a smaller stature person. I don't even see the reason why she would go the Ozempic route. And she's not even modeling anymore. She's acting. Yes. Yes, me too, Michelle. I love Eva, but she was real skinny, and I worried about her, and stress will do that to you. It will. I believe her too. Between Kevin with his madness and not claiming Marley, and her divorce with attorney Mike, and having 2 kids back to back, it was a lot. Exactly. And I believe all of that affected their relationship. Okay, she started to do runway again. She was modeling then, but started to do runway again. You know, all in all, I wish her the best. I do. But I'm glad she is mentally healthy, and I see the difference. She's starting to like put the weight back on. But there is no roadmap to go through the stresses in life. All right. And I think it was very healthy for her to turn off the comments, but because we as a public saw the drastic change, and I'm telling you, Naughty Crew, if I'm stressing, you'll be able to see it. The first thing you're going to see is my face sinking in just like hers. Okay. Then I lose my butt and stuff like that. And people making comments about your weight and stuff like that, it does not help your self-esteem. But I immediately, you can look at my old videos when I talked about the divorce, about Eva and stuff like that. When we first noticed that the drastic weight loss, the first thing I said was she was stressed out. She was stressed out. It can't be easy. You're breaking up with your person that you thought was going to be forever. You done bear 2 children for this man. She didn't even like Mike like that. Yes, I'm happy too. I'm happy too. Because the way I remember when I was attacked or whatever, you know, I went through a depression and it was affecting my weight loss. And everybody that was saying, "What's wrong with you? You're so skinny." That does not help. That's why, like, when I compliment people, I stay away from weight. I always am like, "You're gorgeous, you're beautiful." Now, if you're not gorgeous, I'm just not going to say anything at all or whatever. But I stay away from commenting on people's weight. I just say, "You look good, you're beautiful, good morning, gorgeous." And I stick to that because you just never know what people are going through, and you don't want to be presumptive, like that's just like someone coming up to someone who may be a little overweight and saying, "Hey, are you pregnant?" And they're not. You see what I'm saying? Like things like that. You got to let people tell their own stories. Good morning, Zenobia Queen. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much. But it sounds to me, it looks to me that she's in a lot healthier place, and I'm glad for that because she has a mom. Excuse me, she is a mom, okay, and she has her children looking up to her and things like that. So I'm happy she took the time to get to that healthy place. So kudos to Eva. Thank you for being transparent and letting us into the group chat again. Please like this video, share this content. Yes. Now, the last story I want to touch on, because we touched on it yesterday, Fat Boy. I know people connected to him. I don't know I don't know him directly, personally, per se. I do follow him. And I just have to tell you guys, this whole story makes me disappointed. It really does. Okay. Now, some months back, he came out on the gram defending himself because some footage had leaked of him and his wife. Hey, Grape T, love you too. Thank you for joining. All right. Please make sure y'all go check out Couture Bay's channel. Make sure you go check out Grape T News channel. We had a good time last night, right, Grape T? And shout out to Rolling Out. So back in November, this is when the whole incident went down. Fat Boy defends himself after a viral fight with his wife is going around. So I found the clipping, and this falls under fair use. Hate these ads. Is this it? Okay, here's the first clip. Okay, here we go. Hopefully it play right.
What's the deal, man? Ha Davis, you watching?
Fair use.
It's a surveillance video of you and I don't know if it's your extra, I don't know your situation, but y'all in some like salon.
Shut up. I can't stand him either. DJ Academics, go sit down. Let me try to fast forward this. Somebody asked you.
Because it was on another female. So she's gonna get my chain back. Like I haven't been home. Like been on the road, hustling, working, putting this shit together, putting my album together. Blueface, my nigga. At the end of the day, that's my brother. That's my nigga. For me, he be having an altercation with his girl all the time. Or his girls with his girl, ex-girl, whatever, all the time. What are you talking about?
It's man, not. That doesn't make it right.
Oh, bro, this crazy, man. They be waiting, bro. They kill me. You understand me? Yo, sorry. Why'd you bring? You ain't going in.
Outside?
Yeah. I look like a roof Chris man with all the sides.
So he's showing himself in the studio. He been dropping music. And I'm just thinking she probably was feeling like he was cheating. And she confronted him. And she ain't like it. He ain't like it. We all know what go on in the studio.
Right? Go get my new video, link in my bio. Subscribe to my YouTube and shit. You feel me? I appreciate y'all. No cap. Feel me? Go subscribe to that YouTube right now.
All right, I thought this was going to show the footage of them actually going at it. And we don't need to see that anyway. What's this? All right, let's get into the article. Oh wait, here it goes. I'm sorry I missed it, guys.
What you mean, bye-bye, bro? Give me that key, bro. Call him and tell you call you an Uber. Give me the key. All right, nigga.
I don't have to. If you touch me again, my nigga, you're going to jail, bro.
What you talking about?
Bitch, you're going to jail.
What you talking about?
You're over. We're done. We're over this shit.
What you talking about?
We're done. You could go.
Hey, give me the key, bro. Give me my mother key, bro. Give me my mother key, bro. You weirdo.
I'm not giving you nothing. I'm not giving you
You
nothing.
have somebody come get it from you?
Yeah.
Bro, stop playing with me, bro.
That's how you
Bro, you say you really think you like that, bro? Like, for real. Give me the key,
You
bro.
have to take me to the bitch house.
Like, give me the key.
You're weird, bro. Guys, I don't want the cops to come.
Okay. That's all I'm gonna show y'all. Cause YouTube be tripping. But I saw that and I talked to my peoples about it. He kind of flubbed it. Cause all men stick together. They never gonna call each other out on their stuff. But DV is never okay. I don't care if it comes from the women to the man or the man versus the woman. All parties need to keep their hands to themselves. If it was a matter of her taking his property, which they're married, so his property, her property, her property, his property. But you call the authorities or walk away. It's never okay to put your hands on each other. I'm holding both of them accountable. But it's nothing gangster about DV.
So surprised about the bitch ass shit that he's doing. Like, I wouldn't expect nothing less from this motherfucker. Like, y'all's really crazy. Like, he always talking crazy. Like, he's gangster. Ain't nothing gangster about what you're doing, weirdo. Nothing. It's nothing gangster about it. You look like a bitch.
Okay, and I try to be fair, you know what I mean? But it's just not cool. It's a toxic situation. All right, so shout out to rolling it out for this footage, but it's a volatile situation. And then yesterday, he really, really pissed me off with this one. Shout out to It's On Site, talking about he slutted her out and things like that. I didn't have the full. Ain't that how it always go, Bree? They okay being with the side chick, right? Until the tables turn on them. But with these females, and I like her comment. She wanted him so bad and mocked his ex, saying she isn't his wife. Jazzy never got beat on. You know who that remind me of? Neo and Crystal. All right, it's always all good when he catering to you, showering you with these gifts and stuff like that until the tables turn. Until the tables turn and they turn toxic. All right. But he came out yesterday. We touched on this briefly, and I didn't have the full story. But shout out to Buck. Shout out to Do-Rags. He was like, "Nah, he a clown. He a clown, Nick. He a clown." Shout out to His On Site.
Cali 2 or 3 days ago, I had my sister Valerie contact her to let me see my kids. So I don't even have to speak to her so we can keep the peace. She ignored it. She totally disregarded and ignored it. To see my kids because you mad at me because I didn't pay that mortgage, because you kicked my pops out, because you mad your people were staying there. The fuck? You mad? Fuck out of here. She stole my weed. She stole my jewelry. The bitch a low life. She's a low life, bro. She's a low life, bro. A crumb. I don't care what nobody say. A crumb. Where my jewelry? I paid over $100,000 for my shit, bro. $100,000. Where's my jewelry? But you fucking niggas out here wearing they shit, doing they shit, looking. You know what I'm saying? I can't.
She a crumb, but you made 2 children. Like, to disrespect the mother of his children like that is corny. It give me clown vibes. Like, I had to listen to this again. Like, you whack for this. You whack for this. And she probably stole your jewelry to pay the mortgage. Duh. But don't call her a crumb now. It was all good just a week ago.
Can't wear my jewelry. I can't get my jewelry. You ain't paid for that. Bitch, I paid for it. You ain't purchased that. I did. Well, my hard-earned money, you ain't do nothing. You ain't got no motion. You ain't got no motion. No motion. All you got is fucking OnlyFans. You ain't got no motion. I provide it. I take care of my family. I do what I need to do. Every morning I'm waking up with a mission to get more money for my family. You the problem. You, not me. So I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Eat a dick. Let's go there. If it wasn't for me, you would still be living with your daddy. Your shit will still be in the garage. You still will be driving a Honda. When you came to me, I bought you a Benz off the fucking lot. I bought you diamonds every year your birthday. I bought you mad purses and shit. I put you in a fucking house because you were my wife.
So just because that's what you were supposed to do. And I'm so tired of, when it's a DV situation, the first thing you want to do is throw all the money you spent. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you chose to do. What does that have to do with respect for one another? What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with you coming up with a healthy co-parenting plan with this toxic situation? But it sounds like classic narcissism. You know what it sounds like? The same thing Puffy did to Kim Porter. Hold her hostage. Why and how? By keeping her broke and under his control. Same thing. DV, we do not support DV either way. I don't support women putting hands on men and vice versa. All right. It's just not good all the way around. It's not good. It's not healthy for the children. And they need to take us all of this off the internet. I don't know why people run to the gram. Like, run to the police. If she was that bad, if she stole so much from you, file a report. There's proper channels to handle situations like this. And now you talking about
Duh. I have to do shit like that. Duh. But stop playing with me. I'm the reason. You even have clout. You even have a say-so. A little bit. A little grain of salt say-so. In life. Because of me. Told people, leave me alone. Because when I feel like people trying to take advantage and use me, I'm on go. I don't give a fuck. I'm on go. I'm gonna say what I want when I want to. I just let her out March 1st. It's April, people. I just let her out March 1st. Came all in there and everything. She telling me, Daddy, ain't this your pussy? Ain't this your pussy, Daddy?
Disgusting. Disgusting. But I just thought she was a crumb. I just thought she was a chicken head. But it was all good when you sliding up in there and now you want to embarrass her.
Daddy, ain't this your pussy?
Trigger warning, guys. Disgusting.
I just now all this hooping and hollering. Fuck. What's going on here, Jack? I need to know. Bingo. Like Mayday. It just went down. I need to know what's going on here.
It's like he's trying to use the media to manipulate the image. But you pleading your case on the gram and stuff like that, that's not going to help you when you go to court. This is all going to be used against you. And that's just the fact.
I just flooded you out March 1st. Chicken head? Like, what's wrong with this? Like, what's wrong with this picture, chicken head? Like, stop playing with me. Like, I ain't.
Well, guess what? Guess what? Guess what? You were chicken head right along with her because you was down to sleep with her. What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, we back. You would. I'm on StreamYard. And we back. StreamYard been tripping, child. Even AT2 was saying he had issues. All right, so I mean, freezing up again. StreamYard is tripping, y'all. I'm so sorry. We almost done though with the show because I got to get to the plantation. Can y'all hear me now? Hey, y'all. Can y'all hear me? Okay. StreamYard is tripping. I don't. It just keeps freezing. I'm gonna have to put into a complaint because I like. There's no reason for this to be happening right now. Signal's good. And it just like freezing up my whole situation. Can't stand it. Yes, it be tripping. Like, I don't know if it's the time in the morning, but it just like freezes up my whole system. It won't let me do anything. And I can't stand when that, like, I pay too much money for StreamYard for this stuff to be happening, but I'm definitely going to submit a complaint. So, anyway, thank God for multiple devices. All right, so on the tail end of all that ghetto debauchery, because they just all need to be quiet. Yes, StreamYard is annoying. His ex-wife decided to continue the saga. It's crazy. And it's just like if I gotta go through all of this, I'm not gonna be with someone that take me through all of this. So shout out to CC Bad BBW. Love her channel. I can't even turn the camera around for y'all. There it is. All right. So she came out and said, she said, tell them how many times you have been arrested because your kids are calling the cops because you hitting on a mama. And so then she posts bruises. She said, I'm disappointed in myself behind you. Love, I really want to be there for my kids every day. And I'm dead bad, bro, on my soul, smiling in my head. She said, should I keep going? You bit me and socked me in my face last time. We're seeing your kids. So this is why she don't want him to see the kids. But you know what? That's what the courts are for. You should not try stuff like this in the court of social media opinion at all. It's just a toxic situation, and quite frankly, I feel bad for the kids because one day they're going to be able to pull up their mother and father and see all this toxicity online, and it's just not cool. It's just not cool. So I just wanted to bring the full story to the forefront, 90 crew. I apologize for the technical issues. I don't know what's up with StreamYard. But it's been tripping for a lot of content creators. And don't nobody got time. So I hope you enjoyed the show. Let's leave it in the comments. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what y'all felt about Kim Porter's friend Sahara Lottie interview with the podcast talking about her relationship with Diddy. Let me know your thoughts on Mr. C. You know what? At least Mr. C was courageous enough to walk in his truth instead of living in secrecy. So I commend him for that. His life will not go in vain. He contributed a lot to the music industry, as we discussed. Let me know what you think about Eva Marcelle, coming out and discussing her weight loss, and it was due to stress and being courageous enough to share that with the world. And then last but not least, let me know what you think about the Fat Boy situation. At the end of the day, his artistry I'm cool with. Like, he does good music, he's funny and things like that. I really don't feel like it's a good idea for them to be bringing all of this onto social media. It's just very, very messy. So please thumbs up this video, share my content on your different social media platforms, and let me know your thoughts, Naughty Crew. Until next time, Naughty Crew, I'm out. One, have a beautiful, blessed day.